Hey guys, what is going on? Got a great lesson for you today. It's all about creating creative arpeggios. So, a lot of us kind of get in this rut. I am more than rut. I am more than guilty of doing this. Of learning a couple arpeggio patterns and just using them to death. And like I said, extremely guilty. Now I use the simple major and the minor and the diminished. Same ones all the time. Might throw in like a 9 or something, but you know, I use the same ones all the time. So something a little while back that I wanted to kind of break out of is using those shapes. So what I did was I started taking chords, and this is kind of what the lesson is, and how you kind of create, you know, new ones is just using different chords. Because I mean, that's all an arpeggio is just the notes of a chord played separately. So when you play an A major one, you're just playing an A major chord. So I was like, well, why don't I take some of the other chords that I play, the suspended chords, or you know, the major sevens, all this stuff, and turn them into arpeggios. So I started doing that, and I started getting these really cool sounding chords. So the first one that you heard in the video was a sus2, or an A suspended second chord, and it's really cool. And I love this chord, and I favor it over an A major because you get the extra B string in there that's open. So the thing that's cool about it is anytime you can get open strings, you get a bigger sound, to my ears anyways. So that chord to me sounds bigger than an A major. Then I just don't like the way an A major chord sounds very often, but that sounds cool. You can do a suspended fourth, or even sevens, I think, sound better. I'm just not a fan of an A major chord for some reason. But, so what I did was I figured out those notes, and it's real simple. It's just a A note, E note, another A note, a B, and an E. So you just find them somewhere else on the guitar neck. The one I found was this. Right here. So let me play a normal A major, and then go to the A sus2, and then kind of jump between them for a second so you can hear the difference of them. So the first one here is a normal A major arpeggio. Here's an A suspended second. A major. A sus2. It's obvious I can't sweep and talk at the same time. So, but anyways, so let's kind of just take this. I'm going to show you this A suspended second arpeggio that I did. The rest of them that you heard in the beginning intro was I just did a normal D major. Then I went to a G major, another D major, which you could also, I mean, really do that D suspended second there too, instead of maybe just the chord progression being A to D to A to D to D to B to A. I think that's what it was. Maybe throw in a D sus2 versus the D major. Again, I love that suspended sound, so maybe you could throw it in there too. So anyways, here's the shape. And what I'm doing is, sorry, waiting on another student, 7 hammer on to 12, so it's a little bit of a stretch. You kind of really have to stretch your hand out. I have pretty big hands, so it's not too much of an issue for me, but if you have to, just really remember to drop your thumb, and it's going to give you more stretch. So what you're doing is 7 hammer on to 12 to kick it off. So we're just going from an E note to an A. Then you play 9 on the D, which is the B note that you needed. 9 on the G, which is another E note. 10. So here's where the shape kind of gets confusing. Okay, so we just played that 10, which is just another A note. So we went. Now you're going to reach all the way back to 7 here, which is just another B note, up to 12, which is another E. So just like a major chord, it only has 3 notes to it. We had an E, an A, and a B. And that's it. So it's like I said, it's kind of an awkward shape. If you're used to doing a major pattern like this, it's not too weird. The part that's kind of tough for me is you have to bar with your index finger and kind of roll with it. So here's the arpeggio all together slow. And you notice in the intro I didn't play any of these very quickly. If you've seen my other arpeggio videos, I'm not a fan of the kind of lightning fast, like stuff like that. It doesn't sound good to me. I've never found a use for it, but it's cool if you can do it because you're much better technique than mine. So, anyways, here's the arpeggio. To me, arpeggios just sound better played out like that. So that was the A suspended second. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the D major one that I was doing too, so you can see the 2 similarities in the shape. So here's the D major. On this one, you get a nice, easier stretch. You're going to go 9 to 11, and a fret can make a lot of difference. So we go 9, hammer on to 11, 9 on the D, but now we're using our middle finger to roll. 9 on the G, 9 on the B, 7, again on the high E, and 12 again on high E. So you can notice these are very, very similar. Only thing that we did really to change it is we added an A note, and we took away that A flat. When you go to a D, there you go, if you want a fast arpeggio. Sloppy. But yeah, so that's kind of like a good pointer to kind of go around and making some cool, more creative arpeggios. So, you know, take all your chords, maybe instead of doing a G major, maybe add, you know, an A note in there or something. And it really can give it a cool sound. So hopefully that was helpful. Peace out, guys. Thumbs up. Man, I never do that. Peace out. What? So I will see you guys in the next video. Please subscribe and like this video. And if you would like me on Facebook, link is below. See you guys. Man, my phone is going crazy today. I'll let my phone play me out.